The elevator shook violently as it descended at an ever-increasing speed.
Hey.
When we're in a normal elevator that shakes this bad, it reminds me how efficient that elevator in the Funhouse was.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. The elevator continued to shake and descended deeper and deeper. And suddenly, it stopped like it always does. And the door opened.
Well now.
I understand your desire to applaud this wonderfully vulgar trial ground.
Yahoo!
But it's too exhausting to discuss useless things, so let's just get on with it already. So sad, my chest hurts. Forcing everyone to do this is so sad.
Hey, come on now.
Hey, don't go talking without permission after I've said my catchphrase.
Now I'm really angry.
Otherwise, I'll roll a dice, and based on the result, I'll give you a sex change operation that many times. What an extreme punishment.
Now then,
let's get on with it once again. Let's get a move on, boys and girls. And so it begins. I hope this would never happen again, and now it's happening for the 4th time. The curtain to the 4th class trial was about to open. Nekomaru Nidai, the ultimate team manager. He was more passionate, more daring, more honest than anyone I'd ever met. Truly, he was more man than any of us. He sacrificed his body to protect Akane, and his appearance changed drastically because of that. But he still tried to live earnestly, and just when I finally got used to his new form, Nekomaru's killer is one of us. Killing someone because it's the only way to survive is no excuse. I won't let this be excused. I won't forgive this. The person who betrayed Nekomaru, who betrayed their friends. I will never ever forgive them. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Alright, I want to see what we got in the way of skills here real quick, but I gotta buy some things. We have so many skill points available in terms of like what we can actually equip. Greatly increases focus gauge, we want this. So we're gonna put that on. That was the skill I got for my electronic pet. What skills can I buy? I have 8 things here. I have 8 hope fragments. Slightly increases the time limit for each phase. Effective during class trial. That seems like that would be useful. Full composed. Steadies your aim. Downshift, upshift, trigger happy. Decreases delay between firing truth bullets. Effective during the non-stop debate. I'm not really feeling much of a delay. Algorithm. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Effective during a non-stop debate. Delusion. The influence gauge recovers over time during concentration and fever time. Effective during the non-stop debate, Hangman's Gambit, and Panic Talk. Vocabulary. Increases bullet capacity. That would actually be useful too. Mood Maker. Easier to shift mood to your favor. Effective during a rebuttal showdown. Sharpness increases by 2. That's not really been a problem. I'm gonna go with Lost in Thought, I think. I'm gonna save the rest of my hope fragments for now because I would like to get... Was it Delusion? Possibly Delusion. Alright, it says skills. I need to equip that. Alright, we're gonna get into it. This feels like it's impossible to predict because it feels like there's stuff that's going to come out during the trial that's going to reveal some things. I'm not sure where they're going with the whole layout of things and the rotating 180 degrees. I have a theory that Strawberry House is on top of Grape House somehow, and that explains the floor hatch in the final Dead Room octagon area. But I'm not sure how the turning 180 degrees thing fits into things, so I guess we'll try to find out as we go and hope for the best. Alright, let's do it.
Now then, let's begin. begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Because this wouldn't be a class trial if we didn't.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go! Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Oh my god, my favorite.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is.
If we have to rely on your brain, we have a major problem.
I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m.
Okay, a little before 7 a.m. and his alarm said 7:30.
I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
It's way too early for you to start getting weird.
Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Apparently it's not.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Is that evidence somehow?
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
Man, this trial's going off kilter quick.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
Okay, so it must be somebody from Grape House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
You can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably that hammer, but that hammer didn't have anything on it. New looking hammer. And nothing else there looks like it would fit.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer!
Yeah.
The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right! It was a surprise beating! The weapon is decided!
Okay, it's the first thing Kazuichi says, which makes me think it is the hammer. The hammer in the tower was the weapon. Like he said, he looks like that's the case, but...
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer
I think it's coming up.
and beat the crap out of him!
No, that's wrong!
Because the hammer looks new, so it couldn't have been.
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
Which makes me think that Nekomaru didn't kill himself then, because why would he plant a hammer there to make it look like somebody else did it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangster? Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
So the pillar, but how's that gonna work? The actual weapon has oil on it, but it's something at the crime scene that had oil on it. The broken pillar.
I see! The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon! Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar!
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Huh. Huff Puff is no use, it's barely budging. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body! With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
They're suggesting this way too early so he didn't kill himself.
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. By the way, the fourth murder of the Killing School life was apparently ruled as suicide. Huh. No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
Make your argument. Wire, goodnight button, oil on the floor, tipped over pillar, pillar fragments, broken doorknob. Maybe this is where the fragments come into play.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
I'm gonna guess it's the thing that... Wait, the killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over that pillar. Is that really it? I'm gonna guess it's the pillar fragments, where I think it was Sonia said about tipping the pillar over, because that can't be the case because the fragments are under him.
that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
Makes sense to me anyway.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Oh, ooh, I didn't know I was gonna hit that white noise. That was close.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh.
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Maybe we can try different methods on you and see if anything comes up that we haven't thought of yet.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
He's no longer talking like a lunatic? I didn't notice that.
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
The wire around his ankle? Was the other... They didn't say where the other end of that wire was tied to.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon.
Now is not the time.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark davas of destruction.
Nah, she really isn't him.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the Funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the Funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Oh, you are gonna get it.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the Funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the Funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower.
That's what we're thinking anyway.
But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the Funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
The two houses are connected to the tower in the middle. I thought that at first too, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. We did. Wire, goodnight button tipped to the pillar, wall clock, broken doorknob, strange feeling in the tower.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
I bet that's what we gotta shoot, because we're
That's
arguing
the secret
against
of the
that.
Funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
They are.
And the designs on the floor are also different.
They are.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
This whole time we've been thinking the two towers are the same building, but if that was the only mystery, there's no way Nagito would mention it here. It's gotta be the strange feeling in a tower, because nothing else there really has anything to do with what we're talking about at the moment, I wouldn't think. And it has to be what Sonia said.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and
It
Grape
comes up
Tower
early here.
are actually the exact same place.
Anyways.
So that's the...
Okay, I gotta get ready to shoot some
In truth, Strawberry
noise
Tower
here.
and
Unless I
Grape
can shoot
Tower
it from the left
are
side,
actually
maybe.
the exact same place.
Got it. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
What?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall.
Okay.
But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's rotating 180 degrees, but that still doesn't explain where the chain's disappearing to. Which almost makes me wonder if it's changing elevations too, somehow.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building.
If the floor didn't rotate, then the building rotated.
Bow down!
Sonia, you're awfully talkative in this trial,
Then
which is
how
making
about
me wonder
this?
about you.
Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
While we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
Why would he do that?
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
I should have expected that line coming. Alright, what do I got? Wire, oil on the floor, tipped over body, yoke and chain.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved despite a decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene. He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
Wait, oil on the floor. He couldn't have moved the oil. Then there's definitely a hole in what she has said. I need to show her the evidence that contradicts that. Yeah, he ain't moving an oil puddle.
Forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong. Wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear, the pillar, the body, everything at the crime...
That's it.
Allow me to cut through those words!
He can't move an oil puddle.
Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor. When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
You've been getting pretty fired up. I wonder why.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
Different elevations.
No idea, huh?
This mystery ties into the secret of the Funhouse. But we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues. Oh god, don't say it.
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the Funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determine. Is he talking about the traitor? Why would the traitor have anything to do with anything right now? If so, why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to him?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
He performed the appropriate action in order to learn the secret. Could he be talking about tampering with the crime scene, Monokuma Taichi, investigation, Strawberry House, life-threatening game?
I see!
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
How strange was it, Nagito?
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
See? This is it.
And as he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again.
Okay, so we're surrounded by a forest and there's a building over there.
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
Well, it can't be the first floor at ground level because it's elevated.
But don't you think it's weird? If the Funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Yeah, we're not on the first floor for one. Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this picture.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
What doesn't make sense in this picture? Well, I mean, the trees. Like, this whole thing doesn't really make sense.
Here! You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
I see. And is that it?
Nagito said there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo, which means there are other contradictions contained in it. What doesn't make sense in this picture? I'm not gonna hit the button yet because the timer will pop up, but how come there's like seemingly nothing on the other side of that tower? Is that the central tower we're looking at? It's the tower, right? There's only one tower in the picture. That's what we've been thinking all along, which means it's not a natural at all, don't you agree? Everyone was staring. Looks like I just made a fool out of myself in front of everyone. You were thinking out loud. Is this? It's the fact that there's nothing on the other side?
If the structure of the Funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle. Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not. Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
No, Grape House is under us.
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me,
At least that's my guess.
if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student.
Someone's gotta bug up his butt about something.
Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
The other clue. Is he talking about that one time that I'm not gonna say out loud because that would make things much too easy? Why, hello there, Hajime. Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up. You showed up. How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Was that thing just now another hint to figuring out the mystery behind the Funhouse's structure? Reason Nagito appeared from the third floor. Using the photo he took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. Alright, let's do this. such a dive. Okay, I'm assuming Strawberry House on top of Grape House. Alright, let's do this. Easy does it. Oh. Oh. Okay, enough of that. I'm not go so fast here. Question 1. Do Strawberry House and Grape House both exist? They do exist. That's an easy one. They would have to exist. We're in them. Oh god. Alright, I'm alright. Nope. Oh, maybe that's another question. I guess not. Ooh. Oh god. Okay, I made it. Are Strawberry House and Grape House the same building or two different buildings? They're the same building, if my theory's right. They're just different floors. Question 3. How are Strawberry House and Grape House positioned with each other vertically? It's the only thing that makes sense. Did a lot better with my getting through that.
It's all coming together.
Alright, we were right.
Got it. I know the secret of the Funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
Still doesn't explain the 180-degree thing.
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
Where Strawberry House is located, it's the floors above Grape House.
I see! On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them.
Yeah, and Strawberry House's shape would fit on top of Grape House's.
And it worked, didn't it? Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the Funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd!
Damn.
Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
And what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House, Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
That's right.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
It's got something to do with the way the elevator works.
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
I'll definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
Akuma file, wire, goodnight button, tipped over pillar, strange feeling in tower, broken doorknob. Akuma file wouldn't be that.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
No.
You mean a fake body?
That's gotta be what we have to
Nekomaru
shoot.
died with a mechanical body.
Yeah.
It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
No, wait a minute. Dummy in Nekomaru's body existed. Does that mean the killer prepared it in advance? But is something like that even possible? I think it's what... I think it's what Kazuichi said. Because I don't think it's a dummy body. How's that gonna work? Oh, it's
I'm gonna
that
solve this
wire.
mystery in a flash!
Goodnight button.
Hurry
Tip
up,
pillar
dumbass.
chain. Broken
One of the
doorknob.
bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
Is it this strange feeling? Because I'm
You mean
thinking
a
it's an
fake
elevator
body?
kind of deal.
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
Nothing else makes
It
sense.
should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
It's either that or the no, it would be the chain. Alright. I'm gonna try to shoot
I'm
the
gonna
dummy
solve this
thing.
mystery in a flash!
And hurry up, dumbass!
There's probably gonna be white noise in the way.
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
No, that's wrong!
Okay. I think the strange feeling is like mechanisms because it's working like an elevator.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Which is weird because he's the one suggesting that it's a dummy.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
Not just that, the parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke.
I'm really starting to think Sonia's got something to do with this from the way she's acting.
You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
It's not like Kazuichi would have been able to say no, because then he would have been suspicious.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
What could that be? A device like that. Device that transports things to different floors in the same building. I feel like I've seen one of those before. Alright, let's do this. Okay, this should be elevator. It should be simple. Elevator. Alright, that's it. Oh crap, I gotta watch being too fancy with this. There we go. Finally figuring out how to do that quicker.
You must be talking about an elevator.
Surely.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator.
Yep.
Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So the other doors are dummy doors then. That's why the chain door disappeared.
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower? And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
Because it was on a different floor.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What?
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
The things that didn't change when we moved between the two towers. That includes the body, the pillar, and the oil. We've been talking about that stuff for a while now. There shouldn't be anything strange about them, not even the fact that they all moved with the elevator. The one thing these all have in common, they were all huge, that's not it. They were all on the floor. Yeah. They were all heavy, they were all Nekomaru's parts. They're all on the floor.
I see! Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And?
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer.
Because it's on a different floor.
The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
It must be that it rotates. Or wait, there's something unique about that elevator. It's an enormous circle. You can only enter one side at a time. There's no ceiling. Only the floor moves. Well, we're talking about the objects on the floor, so I'm gonna guess it's only the floor moves.
I see! So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Oh, I thought we, like, assumed that. I see what they're saying.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was.
Well, yeah. Did you guys think it was the whole room?
That's why we saw different doors in each tower.
Okay, I see. For some reason, I just figured everybody, like, assumed that it was just the floor. I don't know why anybody would think it was, like, the whole room.
Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
That's my guess.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
Why is any of this necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified.
It's an illusion.
It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
Well, they couldn't anyway because of the elevator. Like you said, I could probably use these parts to repair that button, but seriously, hold on. Even if you do repair the button, what's going to happen to the chain on the other side of the door? Chain. The door that leads to Strawberry Hall has a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as that chain is there. You don't need to worry about that at all. Huh?
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the Funhouse.
Which somebody else must have figured out because somebody else went through the dead room.
The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
Well, it would make sense if it moves up and down, but there's the whole fact that it's turning 180 degrees. It's kind of confusing. I see, now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower.
The elevator itself is turning.
Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
I agree. What does this mean? The two houses are connected vertically. The position of the tower should be the same in both houses. Funny fact, when my back was facing the elevator in Grape House, the tower was on my right. And when my back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower was on my left. That's kind of clever. If you're really looking to confuse somebody. How can I break through this contradiction? Kane feud ego contact elevator. Kazuichi's account. Has to be. Because this is about that. The turning.
The two houses are connected vertically.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Okay, hold up.
Which means your reasoning
It's clearly contradictory.
I think we went with Gundam said
What's with this
vertical.
iron curtain of teamwork?
Right? It's Gundam and Sonya have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but is that really correct? I'm gonna shoot what Gundam says. This is first.
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, that's right. It's not moving vertically. It's moving. It's going around the tower,
The
maybe.
elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees? Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side.
Yeah, so that's what it's doing. Okay.
The exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all! You're inhuman!
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the octagon, you know.
What is the octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
What an octagon means, it's an 8-sided shape.
I see!
Does that have to do with anything?
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
He watches a lot of UFC.
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Place befitting of the name Octagon is probably Well, it's got to be in between. It's got to be in between floors if you go down through it to get the grape house, like I'm thinking. So would that be in between right there?
Here!
Like on top of it?
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse.
Now this I'm not understanding.
Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building.
Wait a minute. It's gonna have something to do with the fact that it's an elevator and he had that loop tied around something. Maybe that loop was tied around his head, and when the elevator moved, it ripped his head off or something.
But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime.
That's what it is. He still could have killed himself that way, though.
It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
Actually, no, he couldn't have, because he couldn't have activated the elevator. The Funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon. What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who is the killer who did that? I actually have a really weird idea of who it might be, and I'm probably wrong, but I'm basing it off the fact that all of these have similarities between the previous cases from the first game.
Hiya!
Why, hello there. I thought of a new bad word to call Mon ami. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. But let me say it right away. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Mon ami is a serious stupidly. That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stupidly, huh? Tisk. That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all three of these would be... stupidly. Ha wah wah. There's a fat hidden in there.
Okay, everyone, all together now. Mon ami is a serious stupidly.